That's how that case of Jaran Mdluli died, by the signature of Advocate Mkhwebi at the highest office of the NPA. So he killed that case like that. I'm glad now he's resurfacing against that corruption case. But it should have been dealt with then. Yeah, MK22, you'll be able to read it because it's got details. It's quite a lengthy affidavit that I deposited about my experience at Crime Intelligence in 2011 to 2012 when I was acting, and how the secret fund account was misused by the players within Crime Intelligence that are still there today, that are fighting Khumalo today. They were there then, they are still there today. So there's never been any cleansing of Crime Intelligence, which is something the commissions, I want you to pay attention on it. But this issue of Mkhwebi to suddenly shut down the criminal investigation, which was a concern to me, and on it, while we are continuing with the departmental matter, after having received this letter from advocate to say Mdluli must go to court, I received a phone call from the same Inspector General of Intelligence when I was driving home. She said, I must come back and bring back that decision, the final decision she made about the criminal case, because she has risked her career with making that decision of saying Mdluli must be charged. She wants to withdraw that letter. So when I asked her, but why you want to withdraw the letter of a criminal case? You've read the case and you wrote to me and you say, Mdluli must go and face the music. Why do you want to withdraw it? And she said, no. It's my career now in line. So I need to withdraw that. I made a wrong decision. I should not have said Mdluli must be charged, which means she charged the wrong people in the higher echelon of maybe within the police structures or in government that did not want Mdluli to be charged. And I refused to come back and withdraw the letter. And then I received a phone call from the Minister of Police, Nathi Mthethwa, commissioners. I went to his residence in Waterkloof. And when I arrived there, the Inspector General is sitting on one side of the table, Mr. Mthethwa is sitting on the other side of the table. The minister says to me that I forced the Inspector General of Intelligence to write the letter that says Mkhwebi is wrong, this matter must go to court. She said, I forced her. Then I told her, I said, no, Minister, Advocate Khateb is an old woman. She's an advocate. How can I point a gun at her and force her to write a letter? Besides, when this letter was written in her office, and she actually is not the author of the letter. The author of the letter is Advocate J. Governor, who is an experienced prosecutor person who's working in that office. She's the one that drafted the letter. Not you, not the Inspector General of Intelligence. The minister didn't want to hear any of that. A simple say, we must stop prosecuting Mdluli, we must stop disciplinary case against Mdluli. Now, if we talk about political interference, that was the worst I've ever experienced. At that time, Commissioner, I come from the specialized operation. The only thing I know is to chase criminals. And I'm promoted to become the acting National Commissioner, and I'm confronted with this in front of me. And I said, but this is not what I signed for when I joined the police. This can't be right. The minister can't give me these instructions. Then I said to the minister, maybe you brought me into this position and you thought you were going to use me as a pawn because perhaps of my age or whatever, but you are wrong. I'm not going to do that. If you want me to stop charging Mdluli, you must put it in black and white. And then the minister said, no, Inspector General, you must give something in writing to the National Commission to stop this investigation. Inspector General said, no, come with me to my office so I can give you a letter.
I'm asking, in the light of you saying the minister said, stop the investigation.
Well, it stopped because the case could not be enrolled in court because the second letter of Mkhwebi that says stop. And after that, Advocate Bredenbach left NPA and became a parliamentarian. Maybe she will come here and tell you what happened because she's the one who was heading that docket. I don't know the details within NPA, what politics was happening there. But I believe that is one of maybe the things that might motivated her to leave NPA. I do not know. But I'm talking about experience I had was that Mkhwebi had written a first letter and referred to the Inspector General. Inspector General responded back and said, this is not my terrain. And Mkhwebi write another letter and say, my final decision. And that was the end of that case. But coming back now to the stopping of a disciplinary part, because although they are saying this in court, but disciplinary is within my control, I'm not going to stop it, not unless they write to me and they say I must stop. Inspector General, remember I said, Commissioners, is the one who have an oversight role within the 6-rand fund account. So what she says to me in black and white, I must believe it because she's the one who's responsible for monitoring the abuse of this fund and whether it is used according to the rules set out within the intelligence space. So I went to the Inspector General's office, and I don't know whether it's my ancestors or whatever that helped me, because the letter that she had written me first, that cleared Mdluli and said I must charge the CFO, which she later withdrew. She did not destroy the letter. She archived that letter. And she issued me another letter which contradicts that one. Remember, the first letter said Mdluli is clean. Now that she's giving me another letter that talks about the case, she's saying, no, Mdluli is not clean. He must go to court. So those two letters are contradicting each other. But instead of destroying the first letter, she didn't. She archived it, and she withdrew that from the archive. She gave it to me. So I took that and I walked, contacted the president, and I told the president, I'm done acting. Then the president said, no, I'm going to get someone. And I went to meet management. I told all the generals, I said, prepare your exit, because whoever is going to come is going to deal with you harshly. And indeed, that's what happened, Commissioners. The JRPF was appointed, and I was made to go and sit at home in Montana for the whole year.